Hey, good morning. It's 5:52 in the morning. 38.2 degrees on the 25th day of April. Day 22 on trail. I'm gonna wake up, but it's gonna be real slow. All right, good morning, guys. 7:01 in the morning and 42.6 degrees. Just breaking out of camp up here. Had breakfast. Yeah, man, a ton of folks here last night over at Splinter Cabin or whatever. But slept okay. This is located, if you look at like the Gaia map or whatever, my little recordings of each day down in the link in the description, you can see that the location of this spot is like right in between two waterways. And I think that between the low elevation and the cool temperatures, my warm body and a sleeping bag, I just got a lot of condensation on my bag last night, which definitely deteriorated the efficacy of its warming properties. So all this to say, a lot of words to say I slept pretty cold last night. See y'all out there? Slept decently cold last night, which ain't great. So yet another night of not great sleep, but not the worst. I mean, I did sleep some. And that's fine. And as I said, it's just a minute past 7, probably 2 minutes past 7 now. And probably not going very far today, but we'll kind of see how we go. We're gonna get down to these hot springs in like 10 miles and post up for as long as I want, really. And if that means all night, then fine, that's what I've budgeted for. But if I get, you know, antsy or whatever and decide to keep moving, then I'll keep moving. We'll just kind of see how it goes. I think that's all I have for right now. Yeah. Oh, yesterday, dude, I totally recorded a health update yesterday on day 21, weekly health update, thinking, like, very proud of myself that I finally got one of my weekly health updates out on time, and then my phone won't allow me to process it. It says it's like the wrong format to process, which I don't even understand. But either way, I guess we'll have another health update coming today. I'll just re-record it in a different format or something, and hopefully that'll work. But for now, I gotta get to the other side of that, so you can see left my sandals on this morning, and I'll just change into my shoes on the other side of this little wet foot crossing and get going from there. So that's it. Good morning. I will talk to you guys later.
Ever since I was young, I was craving adventure, never took the step. But then in the darkness, when the world went insane, I knew there was something I'd never forget.
All right, guys, 7:35 in the morning and 60.8 degrees, so it's warmed up considerably in a short time. Probably about a mile from camp now. Following this wonderful little ledge just above Deep Creek down below in the sort of valley down here to my right. We're gonna try this again. This is a health update. I know it's day 22. Usually I like to do this on multiples of 7, but yesterday didn't record. So anyways, health update. Let's try and get through it quickly. I'll start down at the bottom of my body. Left foot doing great. No complaints, no blisters, no discomforts, no twists, no anything like that. Feeling good. Left foot solid. Right foot, I got 2 sort of strange blisters. Each of them sort of strange. The first one's a nice big puffy pillowy blister right sort of on the webbing, right at the base of my big toe and my second toe, if you will, just right down in the middle in between those 2 toes. A very strange place for a blister. I do recall about a week ago my Njinji was feeling slightly uncomfortable, kind of thinking this blister might be a result of some sort of dust or grit or sand or something that got in there and was just kind of rubbing me. So not much to do about that. I did lance it while I was in Big Bear, but I noticed last night it's kind of filled back up again. I'm not sure if there's a great way to cover a blister in such a strange location, so I think I'm just going to kind of let it ride. Not overly painful, not overly disturbing. So second blister on my right foot is another very strange one, right in the very middle of the heel of my foot, like just the very bottom middle pad of the heel of my foot. This one's a very, very deep blister. I feel like I remember getting this exact same blister on the CDT last year, but it's just really, it's like deep in my heel, which is very strange. But the depth of it, it just kind of feels like a sort of blister I shouldn't pop or lance or drain or whatever you want to say. So I'm just kind of letting that one ride. Again, that one's not overly painful or whatever. Finally, for the right foot, very unfortunately, I'm not excited at all to report that that same sort of ankle tenderness, soreness, pain, tightness, stuffiness, whatever you want to say, that I was experiencing for at least the latter half of the CDT has represented already on this trail. So hopefully it doesn't get worse. I haven't yet started any sort of regimen of ibuprofen. I do have my ACE bandage. I have not yet put on my ACE bandage. I'm trying to put that sort of stuff off as long as possible. If it remains just a dull pain, I can probably go 2,400 miles with it. We'll kind of see how it goes. I mean, it did all right on the CDT. It was definitely uncomfortable, but it is what it is. And that's that. That's that for my right foot. Knees, I've reported that my knees were kind of singing and squeaking quite a bit, particularly on downhills. They're still kind of... Generally, I feel myself getting better. I feel my body getting stronger. I feel it understanding a little better what it is that I'm up to. So while my knees can still be a little sore on prolonged or particularly steep descents, for the most part, they're feeling quite a bit better, and they're getting better still. Same with just the overall strength of my legs and body. GI doing good. You know, I'm still not sleeping as great as I'd like, but hopefully that'll get better. I'm just trying to wrap my head around the environment out here. It seems like I can never really make heads or tails as to whether it's going to be cold or wet or dry or windy or what. So I think as I become more comfortable with the environment, I'll be better prepared to deal with sleep conditions and make whatever sort of adjustments I need to have a good night's sleep. I'll also mention, I think it was like day 3 or 4, somewhere around Mount Laguna, I was opining on sort of my, I don't know what, sort of, I don't know, general muted psychological malaise so far on this trail. And that, if I'm being perfectly honest, has persisted somewhat, although slowly I'm learning to enjoy my time out here a little more. You know, it's hard, man, to do 3 of these trails 3 years in a row. You know, I miss my wife, I miss my home, I miss my bed. And again, it's kind of strange to see everyone around me being so enthusiastic and exuberant and pumped and jazzed, and I'm just kind of like terrified about the conditions in the Sierra, and I'm just kind of, you know, wondering how far I can get and wondering if I'm not wasting my time. If the Sierras are closed, you know, for all intents and purposes, am I just wasting my time? But, you know, you see these beautiful little flowers and you think, what in the world kind of strange definition of waste is this? I mean, look at this, it's beautiful. So I'm working on it, you know. I'm getting, I think frankly, I think that my head right now is my biggest health complaint. I just need to get myself in gear. And it's fine. I'll get there. I know I'll get there. So it's just a matter of going through the motions and giving myself successes until I finally realize that, dude, you're enjoying yourself. Get over it. So, but it'll be fine. That's it for body. With respect to gear, this is the biggest issue with gear, is these trekking pole tips are very much on their last legs. So, I mean, these weren't brand new when I started this trail by any stretch of the imagination. I've ordered a new pair to Landfill's house. They should actually be arriving to him today, and I should be seeing him in Wrightwood on Saturday, I think, or Sunday, something like that. So I'm just praying that these trekking pole tips hold up until Saturday or Sunday or whatever. I'm not sure if they will or not, but we'll do what we can. That's one gear item. Other gear items, I'll say this is a bit off color just as a final point, but it's worth noting for my own documentary purposes that, as you may have noticed from my gear loadout, I am packing out not only all my trash, but all of my waste, if you will, all of the solid waste, which I physiologically produce. So I've been using that sort of 10 mil Mylar double zip bag to pack that out with. And you know, I mean, it's unpleasant, but it's the best thing to do for Leave No Trace. And I just wanted to report that so far that initiative is actually going exceedingly well. There are a few there have been a few learning lessons with like how best to execute such a mission, but I feel like I'm kind of getting my system dialed in that respect, and those 10 mil bags are actually doing really well. I'm still on my first one, although I'm carrying 2 brand new extras as backup just in case one of these 10 mil bags fails. So with that, that's all I got. This has been Health Update, almost Health Update on time, number 1, whatever. We'll be back to it, day 28, the next multiple of 7. That'll be the next Health Update. I'm gonna get down to these hot springs and do my body some good. Five, 77.4 degrees, just making it to Deep Creek Hot Springs, and just saw a completely naked man in only a wide brim hat walking by, so that was exciting. But I'm filming this check-in now because I'm not sure how much filming I'll be doing if there's a bunch of naked people around. So anyways, yeah, my plan, get here, hang out as long as I want, and if that means overnight, great, and if that means a few hours, also great. Don't really care. So, yeah, so I'm not really sure if I'll be checking back in again or not. I'm not really sure exactly what the plan is from here, other than to, you know, take a soak, hang out, relax, and enjoy life a little bit. So, I'll talk to you guys either later or tomorrow. All right, I found just a moment where there's no one at sort of this big premier pool. So I thought I'd give you just a little spin around shot, show you what we got going. So it actually gets pretty deep. I could probably... Yeah, you can submerge. Can't quite stand here. But the temperature isn't overly warm. I don't even know what I'd guess. I guess I could bust out my thermometer. But yeah, there's some water trickling down here. And basically it's divided up into a whole series of pools. But I understand that there are usually about twice as many pools because Deep Creek is indeed far deeper than usual at the moment, so a lot of the pools are just outright flooded over. But that's fine. I've been enjoying myself. I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to stay. I don't think I'm going to stay here tonight, but I'll hang out and have a lazy sort of midday period and then scoot out. So it looks like I will be checking back at some point. All right. Okay, it is 77.4 degrees at 1:24 in the afternoon, and I'm just leaving Deep Creek Hot Springs, which was a lovely, really a lovely little stop. It doesn't take much imagination to imagine that it could get pretty busy and probably a little less pleasant on the weekends, but luckily, you know, I say it's 124, well, it's 124 on a Tuesday, so it was just fine. There were a decent number of folks who just kind of hiked in. I'm not perfectly clear where the nearest like road access is. I mean, someone said it's like 5 miles, someone said it's 2.5 miles. So you got to work a little bit to get here, but frankly, if I was a local, I'd make that trip all the time. And it looks like other people have similar thoughts on the matter. So, but yeah, spent a good 3 hours hanging out. Plenty of hikers came through. A couple hikers came through and went in. A couple of hikers came through and just went on by. But yeah, I mean, definitely a good little stop. Didn't really feel super compelled to stay, especially there is no camping allowed within 1 mile of the hot springs themselves. So either way, if I wanted to obey rules, I would have had to move on a little bit. But move on a little bit I shall. And the new plan for the day looks like going another 6-ish miles or so to get to a road called 173, from which a bar slash hotel slash deli called the Joshua Inn will pick up hikers and bring them in for a beverage or a night or a whatever it is the hikers after, I guess. So I'm gonna kind of play that by ear, whether I wind up camping on their property or not. And frankly, that all just revolves around how early they'll run their first shuttle back to the trail. It seems like by the time I hit 173 here in another 6 miles, we'll be at a far more desert-like environment and a far more desert-like sort of elevation. So I expect tomorrow, the next day, to be quite a bit warmer than it's been, potentially quite a bit drier, and I don't want to get a late start to a dry day. So anyways, this is a rambling check-in. Just want to let you know I'm leaving the hot springs at 124, and I'll talk to you guys wherever I wind up. at 81.8 degrees, and the truck from the Joshua Tree Inn just got here. Kate, another hiker, called them as soon as she got here, just a couple minutes before me. So I'll head down to Joshua Tree and see what the plan is.
Can I get my picture, please?
Hey! Okay guys, it is 7:17 and 70.4 degrees. I've made it to home for the night. This is Joshua Inn. So this is sort of like the camping area, sort of adjacent to the bar. Despite the name, by the way, it is not a hotel or anything. It's pretty much just a bar, kind of like a biker bar sort of spot. But super, super, super friendly people, great spot. Really, really, really a good spot. So you can kind of see the general sort of situation here. Whole big group of hikers. So we got Joe just came in, he's the Australian. Let's see right here. We got my buddy Mike. We got Jarrett, We got, excuse me, this is Jason and his dad who's going by ice in this Big Agnes tent. We got her, I think her name's Katie, I'm not quite sure, Katie. And another group of folks I just met, that's Kate over there. And a couple other folks, I don't really know. Yeah, they actually do a really good sandwich here. Basically their business, I don't know what their like bread and butter business is, but their business as it pertains to me is they'll actually pick you up a few miles down the road, down at the trailhead, and bring you over to their bar, sell you a sandwich, sell you a beer or two, or however many you want, I guess. And they have this little outdoor shower, which I guess I didn't point out, this little like corrugated metal box. Little outdoor shower, you can take a shower for $5. No laundry, no beds, no nothing like that, but you can camp up for free. So basically, theoretically, you could just be at the trailhead, call them, they could pick you up, you could drink a beer, you could get a shower, you could get a ride back to the trailhead, all for like $15 or something, you know, that's counting like $5 for the driver. So not a bad deal at all, and frankly, not a bad view at all, right? So I think everyone is really interested to get going pretty early tomorrow. Again, we're pretty low elevation at this point. Not like the lowest will be all trail or anything, but definitely pretty decently low elevation. It's supposed to be some pretty hot days. I think tomorrow's supposed to get up around 80 or something. Water doesn't look like it's going to be a huge problem tomorrow, but everyone's pretty interested to get it going pretty early. So I think the shuttles are going to start somewhere around 6 or 6:30. Plan on being on one of those. Oh, that's my bunk, by the way. Yeah, and what an amazing day, man. Hot springs, end with a beer, 60% more miles than I had budgeted. That's amazing. So that's just a great day. With that, I'm probably gonna slide back inside, grab one more adult beverage just for purely caloric reasons, and then bunk up. But I will talk to you guys tomorrow.
With the earth beneath my feet, I will walk.